Hello everyone, this is Ninja Girl Sakura1 here, back with another Legend of Korra episode review. Today's episode was, of course, episode 7 of book 4, Reunion. But before I get to what happens in the episode, let me just say something that was quite annoying. Nickelodeon decided to take their sweet time making this episode available to watch. And it's kind of ridiculous. It was already 11:30, almost noon my time, and I still couldn't watch the episode, and I've been able to watch it at like 9:30 in the morning before. So, come on, Nick, that's ridiculous. It's bad enough that you shoved the show to online only, claiming it's not good enough for your network, which is nonsense in itself, but then you can't make the episodes available to watch in a timely fashion? I know we're watching it for free, which is the only good thing, but that's silly, come on. And you have the picture saying new full episode, episode 7, and when you click on it, it says unavailable to watch. Don't put that up there unless it's ready to be watched. That was kind of ridiculous, but anyway, on to the episode and the good things, because there's nothing good about Nickelodeon right now, except Korra, but anyway. The episode actually begins with Korra getting back to Air Temple Island, and who is the first person she reunites with? Technically, it's not a person. She actually reunites with Naga before anyone else, because Naga and Pabu were outside playing, and it was just so sweet. Korra goes up to Naga and just says, "I missed you so much, girl," and just gives her a big hug. It was adorable and heartwarming, being they haven't seen each other in 3 years. So nice, so adorable. And then Boomy actually says hello to Korra along with Boomju, which was nice. And then Tenzin's kids let Tenzin know that they got back and that they did find Korra. And Tenzin's proud of his kids. They were successful in their mission. And Milo, being the silly kid that he is, asks if he's proud enough that he could get his airbending tattoos. Tenzin, of course, says no. Because obviously, Milo's too immature for it, for one, and he's just too young. He's not ready. So, yeah. Korra then says hello to Tenzin and says that she missed him. And I don't blame her, because Tenzin's awesome, and she could have used his wisdom during those 3 years, but anyway. They then talk about what happened with Kuvira at Zaofu, and Korra just feels bad that she was unsuccessful in preventing what happened, that she couldn't defeat Kuvira. But Tenzin says, "Don't feel bad. We'll find a way to handle her, but we need to rally together to figure out the best way." And he's right. So yeah. The scene then switches to Bolin and Varric, who are in the forest after their escape. And Bolin has to carry Varric, which is pretty hilarious. And when Bolin just can't take it anymore, Varric complains and says, "Well, when we fled Republic City and got out of jail, Julie carried me like 21 miles or something like that." And Bolin, being frustrated, just says, "Look, I'm not Julie, and I don't have to carry you." And then Bolin gets on him for creating that spirit vine weapon. And Varric admits he feels bad about it, and he kind of wishes he hadn't created it, but can't take it back now. But Bolin then tells him, "Look, since there's nothing we can do about it right now, the best thing we can do is get to Republic City and warn everyone about it." So Bolin kind of takes charge of the situation and tells Varric to, "Look, just give me your hand and let's keep going. We've got to get to Republic City." And Varric agrees. And then, kind of to make up for what he did to Bolin, he offers to carry Bolin. But he obviously can't, and they actually end up trapped in some kind of animal trap, I think it is. You know, those ropes that go around the ankles and just snag you? That's kind of what they got stuck in. The scene then switches back to Korra and Team Avatar, and Korra has her new outfit, which you are seeing on the screen, and it looks fantastic on her. I do like it, and the new haircut has really grown on me. I think the short hair kind of makes her look cute. It's not a bad look for her. So yeah. And they then meet up with, or Korra goes and meets up with Asami, Mako, and someone else who tags along, Prince Wu. Haven't seen him in a little while. Mako either. And Wu thinks that he can hit on Korra, and actually wants to see her eyes glow and wants her to go into the Avatar state. So Korra, she's annoyed, obviously. I would be too. And then, whilst Korra, Asami, and Mako are talking, Asami accidentally reveals that she was the only one who Korra wrote back to. So, uh-oh. Mako kind of gets upset with her and asks why he didn't write to him and Bolin. Because they could have helped her with her problem, maybe. But Korra just says, I really didn't know what to say, so I just didn't. So, yeah. And Asami then tells Korra about seeing her father, and that she kind of wants to try and forgive him. But Korra's like, well, wait a minute, are you sure you can trust him? I mean, he could just be trying to fool you again. And that makes Asami really mad. So, yeah. They kind of get into an argument. Wu then interrupts and says that he needs to go to the bathroom and wants Mako to go with him to stand guard. But Mako, fed up with having to do that annoying chore, says, no, go yourself. So yeah, and he does, and there's a person in there who is like a butler for the bathroom. I don't know what they're called specifically, but they give you like cologne sprays, or they spray cologne on you, or whatever. But when he asks for that, it's not cologne, it's some kind of sleeping gas. So, not good. So Wu basically gets kidnapped. The scene then switches back to Bolin and Varric, who I guess escaped the trap. And Varric admits that he kind of misses Julie. And then they run into some escapees from Kuvira's camps. And yeah, they're kind of in a bad situation. So it seems anyway. And then the scene switches again back to Korra and Team Avatar. And when Wu hasn't come back to the table where they were eating for a while, they go check on him. Or Mako does. And, well, when Korra sees someone going past the bathroom area, I guess, she notices that something is off and goes to follow them and sees that Wu was kidnapped and tries to go save him. And then they jump in the car to chase after the car that had taken Wu, because Korra wasn't able to stop them right there. She tried though. So yeah. Mako then tries to play backseat driver to Asami, of all people. Not a good idea, because Asami is a great driver and she knows the streets way better than he could. So yeah. Sadly, the car then gets away from Korra and Team Avatar. But Korra then decides to use the trick she had learned at the swamp to feel for Wu's energy and find out where he is. So, yeah. She succeeds and learns that they are taking him to the train station. So they make their way there. Then the scene switches back again to Bolin and Varric, and they are talking with the escapees from Kuvira's camps, and they explain that they're trying to get past a checkpoint so they can leave the Earth Empire, because they want to get away from Kuvira, obviously. So yeah. And eventually, after a small scuffle, they agree to go to the checkpoint with them and help them leave. Then the scene switches back again to Korra and Team Avatar, and she tells everyone about Toph, because they were wondering how she was able to find Wu. And she says, well, she was kind of a tougher, more crankier version of Lin, which is true. And everyone's like, seriously? There's somebody more cranky and worse than that? And Korra's like, well, yeah, you'd be surprised. So yeah. The scene again switches back to Bolin and Varric, and they are at the checkpoint pretending that they're still Kuvira's henchmen or whatever, and that they're trying to just take these guards to another camp, because they had escaped and whatnot. But it fails, because just as they're about to get through, someone sees their wanted posters and a fight breaks out. But Varric cleverly comes up with a little plan. He decides to make this sonic weapon that shuts down the mechs, because they were using the mecha tank suits. And at first, he just wants to take Bolin and go, but Bolin, once again, takes charge and does not want to just leave those escaped prisoners to fight for themselves. So he helps them out, and they manage to get away. So yeah. Then the scene switches back again to Korra and Team Avatar, and they're at the train station, and Mako is kind of upset that he wasn't able to do his job, and just, he's like, figures the one time I don't go with him to the bathroom, this happens. And he actually kind of gets on Korra's nerves, because she kind of feels he's blaming her. But yeah. There's this awesome train fight when they find him, and Korra does pretty well, and she actually manages to save Wu, and he's thankful, and he is still hitting on her, but Korra flat out turns him down. So, way to go, Korra. Seriously. Everyone then just says that it's going to take time to get used to each other again, but they are very happy that Korra is home. And then Wu is taken to Asami's house to hide out, where also Mako and Bolin's relatives are staying, and his grandmother just faints at the sight of Prince Wu, because she loves royalty apparently. So yeah. Then we get one last scene with Bolin and Varric and the group they had rescued, and he apologizes for everything Kuvira has done to them, and they're just grateful. So yeah, I guess after that they part ways, and Bolin and Varric are still on their way to Republic City to warn everyone. And then the last scene. Yeah, we finally see Kuvira and Patar Jr. at this point, and they're trying to get more spirit vines for their experiments. But guess where they're trying to get it from? The swamp. And that's where the episode ends. So, wow. One problem with that little plan of yours, though, Kuvira, you have the best earthbender in the world guarding the swamp. So that's not going to end well for her, I don't imagine. But yeah, overall, great episode. I enjoyed it. And I guess that's my review. So I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see what else is going to happen next Friday. But until then, I will see you guys later.